The Nvidia DLSS5 drama somehow continues to keep going, as Capcom publicly states that they had no idea that this was even going to happen, and they did not endorse Resident Evil Requiem's usage as the first example of their AI slop filter. Let's talk about it. Alright, so this is my fourth video discussing this thing. Jesus Christ, I thought I'd be done with it by now, but apparently not, because this AI slop filter nonsense is just the dumpster fire that keeps on giving. But yes, Resident Evil developers were reportedly in the dark about the DLSS5 reveal. So yeah, quick recap, the DLSS5 is a generative AI graphical upscaling feature from Nvidia. Everyone absolutely hates it because it makes everything in-game look like a really shitty TikTok filter. And what's extra satisfying to see about the fact that everyone hates this thing is that this is not just the player speaking. Genuinely, nearly everyone hates it. It's gotten so bad to the point that even actual professional companies, like actual game developer studios, are sitting down on Twitter and talking trash about this thing. The Cult of the Lamb developers, Massive Monster, are talking trash about it. The Among Us developers are talking trash about it. Actual professional studios in the gaming industry that have been here for years and years and years are openly and proudly displaying their disgust and anger towards this thing. Because, well, it takes countless amounts of years to perfect an art direction for a video game. And for someone else to just step in and throw a crappy AI filter on it, essentially throwing away all of the hard work that the game developers put into their art direction, is very disrespectful. You'd figure it somehow couldn't get any worse than actual industry giants in the gaming scene talking trash about this thing. But apparently you'd be wrong, because apparently Resident Evil developers Capcom were reportedly completely in the dark about this DLSS5 reveal. The reason why this is important is because, well, Resident Evil 9 Requiem was the very first thing that was used to demonstrate this newfangled AI upscaling technology. And Capcom is, well, they've maintained a pretty hard stance on the fact that they don't like AI and they don't want anything to do with it at all. But let me not get into that yet. Let me just read this article. Nvidia's DLSS5 controversy continues to simmer after the chipmaker showed off examples of the AI-powered technology on Monday. While Nvidia reps claim that the DLSS5 represents the most significant breakthrough in computer graphics since the debut of real-time ray tracing in 2018, observers were quick to point out that the technology was significantly altering the artistic intent of developers, and not for the better, as evidenced by the bizarrely yassified face of Resident Evil Requiem's Grace Ashcroft that's been making the rounds on social media. According to Insider Gaming, developers at Capcom were largely unaware the studio had entered into this partnership with Nvidia. They had no idea. Nvidia plans to launch DLSS5 this fall, and the tech will support games from developers like Bethesda, Capcom, NetEase, Tencent, Warner Brothers, and Ubisoft. Anonymous sources at Capcom told Insider Gaming the announcement was especially shocking, given that the company has been very anti-AI when it comes to Resident Evil Requiem and the other unannounced titles. The staff at Ubisoft were equally taken aback, with one saying, "We found out at the same time as the public." Very unprofessional, very just disrespectful if you ask me. Like I already iterated a second ago, the reason why actual game studios hate this thing is because it tarnishes the original art direction of what the game's development was supposed to be in the first place, right? So for these guys to just step in and just slap a crappy AI filter on it without even directly announcing to the developers beforehand that this is what is going to happen, like, it's very easy to see and understand why even the professionals of the industry are offended by this and not just the players, you know what I mean? Meanwhile, Ubisoft's Charlie Guillemot, I don't know, praised the tech in an Nvidia press release. "Immersion is about making the world feel real. DLSS5 is a real step toward that goal," he said. "The way it renders lighting, materials, and characters changes what we can promise to players. On Assassin's Creed Shadows, it's letting us build the kinds of worlds we've always wanted to." Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's not uncommon for executives to keep rank-and-file staff in the dark about certain business decisions, but the Nvidia partnership may suggest a potential culture shift for Capcom. For one thing, the studio invested significant time and resources to ensure Grace and Leon felt like real human beings in Requiem. The actor who portrayed Grace, Angela Santalbano, recently told Polygon that the role required hours of grueling physical performance. She wasn't alone in a recording recording booth, but in a motion capture studio with her scene partners. It brought humanity to a game in a way that makes it feel much more real, so the story can shine, which was wonderful for an actor. I think that's kind of a dream, Santalbano said. Elsewhere, Leon Kennedy actor Nick Jesus Christ, these last names. Nick Apostolides? Jesus Christ, that sounds like the name for a freaking over-the-counter pharmacy medication. But anyway, told Polygon that his deep love for the series is a major reason his portrayal continues to resonate with audiences. The OG fans also respect what I've done because they know that I respect the source material. And yeah, it doesn't seem like Nvidia cares very much. Just like how AI art programs like Midjourney straight up steal from legitimate artists, it just feels like this DLSS5 thing that Nvidia is trying to sell to everyone is just smearing all the hard work that these art directors perform in video game development studios. Even if studios don't intend to use DLSS5 to alter human performances, what we've seen so far suggests that the technology certainly runs the risk of distracting and detracting from those performances. In any event, we certainly haven't heard the last of this controversy. And yeah, I have to totally agree. This is the 4th video I've made of this thing, and while I'm hoping it's the last one, I know it's not. It's especially surprising that Nvidia would go out of their way to just surprise Capcom with this knowledge, considering the fact that Capcom is very publicly anti-AI. A perfect example would be how in Street Fighter 6 they actually had a disqualification for their art contest because someone was using AI for their artwork and they straight up threw that guy out. Eurogamer picked up on this last year. Controversy has rocked a recent Street Fighter 6 art contest, following accusations that one of the winning entries was made using AI. Capcom has since disqualified the piece in question, pointing to a rule that explicitly bans AI contributions. Very clearly, they don't want AI being involved with any of their artistic endeavors, as you can see. So for Nvidia to just sit here and drop this on them is just, like I said, straight up disrespectful. Wonder what the comments think. Executives entered into lucrative deals with flagrant disrespect to the employees who actually make their products? Man, let's hope this doesn't become a pattern. Yeah, let's hope so. That's never happened before. This isn't a thing that's happened in the past countless times. But anyway, I still can't get over the fact that the AI decided Grace isn't a real blonde and would have dark roots. The original character art just doesn't support that, and the side-by-side makes it all the more obvious. That, her makeup, the drastic changes to lighting, which essentially throw out the better-looking ray-traced results, and now these reported comments from Capcom and Ubisoft employees only further justify questions about artistic intent. Meanwhile, Ubisoft is laying off more employees with Red Storm shutting down. Yeah, Ubisoft is pretty much an internal... Ubisoft is just a never-ending tire fire at this point, so who even cares what they think? They've been becoming more and more brainlessly corporate as opposed to actually caring about the products that they're working on. They are a company. Companies exist to make money, but you've got to balance it out on top of actually being a creative medium. And very clearly, as the years have passed, Ubisoft has done absolutely nothing but become a completely soulless corporate greed machine. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are you guys's? Whatever it is, be sure to tell me in the comment section. And maybe drop a like and subscribe if you're feeling generous. That's gonna be all for this video, boys. This is Black Light Jack signing out. You guys have a good one.